And welcome back to Area DMG. I am your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today we're going to take a look at The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on the new Nintendo 3DS. Or rather, we're going to take a look at the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess preview trailer that was released for the Nintendo DS. This was released to the audience at Nintendo's E3 2005 conference in limited detail, or rather in limited amount. The product name for this is DIS-NTR-AZDE-USA. There were no European or Japanese versions of this because it was released in the United States, and because it's an NTR game, it is region-free. It's a special distribution, that's why the first three letters are DIS. So distribution, Nitro, which would be original DS, AZDE, which is a product code, usually Zelda stuff has that, and then the region, which would be USA, only region that it was released in. Now, the back of it has the, it's just your basic stuff there, NTR005, and this one's product code is AZDE, NG, and then 0J22. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and run this on the new Nintendo 3DS XL. We're going to play it first in full screen, and then play it again in its original resolution. Let's go ahead and add it. It'll load up in a moment. Oh, it's being picky. Weird. Okay. Let's talk a little bit before we go in with this particular game. Okay, that's weird. It's not wanting to be nice. Okay. Contacts are fine. It should load up anytime now. There we go. It was being a little bit stubborn there. Sorry about all that wait. Not that interesting to see, but okay, let's go ahead and this is this right here is a little icon for it. We'll see that right there, and on your selection screen over here. Oh, I've got some street passes, but it says Zelda preview trailer. Let's go ahead and start this up. Interesting to note about this, let's bring it back a little bit. It's from ActImagine, and pretty much what you have here is you have the trailer play on the top screen, and the bottom screen says play. When you hit play, it'll change to stop. Hit stop. Let's go ahead and make sure that's to stop and restart it. So let's go ahead and play through the trailer for The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess from Nintendo, which was coming at this time to the GameCube, and then later on it came out on both the GameCube and the Nintendo Wii for the launch of the Nintendo Wii. It's also one of those games that's heavily rumored to follow after Majora's Mask for being ported over to the Nintendo 3DS family of game handheld consoles. In fact, some people are saying that we might get The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess as an exclusive game for the new Nintendo 3DS XL, similar to Xenoblade Chronicles, not Xenosaga, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D and The Binding of Isaac Rebirth 3D, both of which are exclusive to the new Nintendo 3DS XL and take advantage of its additional features and additional processing power. So let's go ahead and hit play. You can also hit A. Oh no, actually the buttons don't do anything. The buttons don't do anything. Let's go ahead and tap play. actually a little bit nicer right there. Beautiful. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. Anyways, let's go ahead and hit stop on this. It's gonna end in a moment. And we're gonna go ahead and get out of this one and go back to it in its original resolution. I turned off the light because, well, to be honest, this screen looks a bit better in the dark. But yeah, Twilight Princess would be an interesting one for them to pick. Because, well, Twilight Princess gets kind of a bit of a bad rap in comparison to other Zelda games. It's also the next one in line. They recently re-released the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker on the Nintendo Wii U, and Twilight Princess could uniquely benefit from being on the new Nintendo 3DS XL as an exclusive. One, you'd have the extra camera controls, extra buttons. They could make it properly widescreen. They could change it back to not being you see, if you're playing it on the GameCube, Link is left-handed. If you're playing it on the Wii, Link is right-handed, because they felt that people would have some type of disparity when moving their arms along with the motion controls. Lack of motion controls on the new Nintendo 3DS XL for that could actually benefit the game. Maybe a little bit more translation fixing. They could make the whole of Hyrule's overworld a little bit more interesting. They could add to it. It's definitely something that I'd like to see them go back to and remaster. I know some people really want it on the Wii U, where it'd be high definition, but I think that Twilight Princess, with its more personal story and the way it is very character focused, and the fact that, well, quite frankly, I think it would sell better on the new Nintendo 3DS XL, and it might actually sell some copies of the new Nintendo 3DS as well. So, I'm hoping that the rumors that this will be ported, I'm hoping those are true. Let's go back into that trailer. We're going to hold down the start button. You can hold down the start or the select button when booting up a DS game or a DSiWare game or a Game Boy or Game Boy Color Virtual Console game to play it in its original resolution. Now we're holding that down. I'll boot up in a little bit. If you'll notice, it is definitely smaller, definitely sharper. Like we said, that button. And there we go. Let's set that up. And let's play. This is actually one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games. Mainly for the storyline. It's so interesting. In that, like, Link isn't really the hero in this game. It's everyone who's around him. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of that real quick. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the cartridge itself, the game card itself. There were so few of these actually made that it's kind of a collector's item. There is a paper cover that the card goes into, which we do have. I just didn't feel like going through tons and tons of boxes to find. When I'm showing off like maybe an unboxing or a reboxing, I might bring it out and show you guys that particular thing at some point. But it's kind of an odd piece of history for the Nintendo DS. The video quality on there is from Actimagine, which Nintendo kind of bought a lot of their technology, and you see that their particular codecs being used for, well, their particular codecs were developed from what they did with the Game Boy Advance Video, and then they were using that on Nintendo Video for 3DS, as well as you'll see other companies use their compression rates in games like Monster Hunter 4 or even Xenoblade Chronicles 3D actually uses some of their tech. It's kind of amusing that they went from Game Boy Advance to that. In fact, when they were first showing off the 3DS, they showed off 3D video from Actimagine, which included like How to Train Your Dragon and Disney's Tangled. However, those video cards were never released. I'd love to get a hold of one because they are also physical cards like this, and they are amongst some of the harder to find bits of Nintendo historia. Now this one, like I said, with Twilight Princess, I do want to go back to where I mentioned that Link is not really the main character or the hero of the game. And that's actually more of a fan theory because, well, if you play like The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, or The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds, you'll note that Link kind of goes into a dark world, or the Twilight world in Twilight Princess. But unlike other games in the series, he doesn't turn into a pink bunny or a purple bunny. He turns into a wolf. Then there's a couple hallucinations that the character has during the course of the game, in which literally Link kills some of the other main characters. He's not a reluctant hero in this. It's actually that he might be kind of a bad person, but he's foisted into the situation that he's in The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and becomes a good person through this. In other words, he changes over the time of it, which it's actually a lot more subtle character growth, but it's character growth that hopefully Nintendo will see fit to give us again. And maybe we'll see a port of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on the new Nintendo 3DS XL this E3. Hopefully. Who knows? I mean, the Majora's Mask port was rumored for years before it came out. And there were already listings of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the new Nintendo 3DS XL with retailers. So, who knows? Maybe we'll see that. I'm your host, Will Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and you are now caught up.